Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Will, and today we're getting serious, okay? We're getting serious. How serious are we getting? Taking up tie, all right? Right? We're getting serious. Even though we're going virtual, put a little breath mint in my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Right. Little smell good. We're getting serious today, people. We're too serious today. Now, this has been on my mind, but the crux, the genesis of this came from Sarah, the teacher, blog post. Hello, Sarah. Say what's up.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Excellent. So because of her, well, she got the little fancy stuff going on. I got to find out how she get the fancy going on right there. But her blog post about some issues going on with folks on Twitter said I gotta do this. All right. So welcome to this show. I don't have a title for them, put it out there, but I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I might call it Twitter Who, Twitter What. I don't know. But we're gonna break it down today. So Sarah, welcome back again on the Dr. Will Show. And for those who may be seeing you for the first time and they're like, who is Sarah Thompson? Tell the people who you are.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Thomas. I am a teacher slash technology liaison up at John Hanson French Immersion in Temple Hills, Maryland. And my mission, my life's goal, I guess, has just become very crystal clear to me, and that is to help educators connect with each other and collaborate because, I keep hearing the room is smarter than the individual, and that is so true. So that's what the blog post was generally about.
Awesome. All right. Now, I was going to start with my experience, what made me kind of go, And when I read your blog, I was like, all right, time to pass the collection plate because she is speaking the truth. All right. I go to Twitter. I'm on Twitter following a lot of different educators, some great folks. Then I go to ISTE. All right. Very excited to get there and meet all these people and learn, chit chat, network, the whole thing. Then I meet some people who their Twitter britches are just a little too big. You know what I'm saying? They don't have time to dialogue. In fact, there were two individuals. I say, hey, how are you doing? They just looked at me and say, hey, and just boom, just start talking to somebody right there. I was like,
Wow.
What? Are you serious? And another person, again, I'm not calling any names because you know who you are. One person, I called out the name. I was like, hey! And the person looked over, kept on going. And then 2 days in the conference, saw me going up an escalator, and then was like, hey, how you doing? By that time, I was like, I'm done. Shady is as shady does. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you can keep on moving over there. And so for me, the whole thing is I don't begrudge anyone's success. Make your, do your thing, make your money, get your pockets filled. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, you on the grind, you're on the grind. No problem with that. But for me, Twitter is a conversation. Yeah. And when you're dialoguing with people and you're sharing this information and you're building the PLN, when you see people in person, that extent, to me, there should be a natural extension of those relationships, and you should just be a real cool person. You should not come off as someone who is less than thrilled to meet you, or someone who said, well, I got 10,000 followers, I'm only trying to holler at other folks with 10,000 followers. I got my book deal, I'm only trying to holler at people with book deals as well.
Right.
And so I was a little taken back by those people, but I was like, you know what, do your thing, because I got moves to make. So off of this and getting to from what I said in your blog post, what was sort of your experiences? Like, what made you get to the point to where you said, I got to put this, I will say on paper, but just not on paper, but I got to write this, I got to put this out to the world?
Well, what happened is that what had happened was, no, just joking, but I curate a lot of resources on Zeit, and I have different things sent to my feed. I've seen your show pop up several times, so big shout out on that. But anything educational, I want to read about it. I want to hear about it. So I have been seeing not just one, but several different blog posts of people talking about their rules for following back. And I totally, if you wanna have your rules, who am I to tell you what your rules should be? That's totally fine. But the issue that I had was with one certain word that I kept seeing repeatedly, and that word was impress. They will not follow you back if you do not impress them. And that just kind of got my gears churning, because the way that I view Twitter, I view it as a tool for collaboration. Like I said in the introduction, my mission of my whole life's work is to get people to have those conversations, to collaborate. We all have a story, and we are all experts in something. So why would someone who is maybe further along in their journey to connectedness or whatever, we were all starting out at one point. So how dare anyone look down on anyone else for what they have or have not accomplished yet? So, I mean, that was just the point behind it. And, of course, I have no ill will to anyone. We all have our own ideas on certain topics. This is just mine. Just like how I respect other people's right to their opinion, I will disagree, and I am disagreeing, but it doesn't take away any love that I have for all of us as educators. But that's pretty much where the blog post came about.
So what has been the feedback you received from it thus far?
It has been it's been very positive, surprisingly, because I was nervous when I wrote this blog post. I was I was just like, should I hit publish? Should I not hit publish? Because I know that some people may not like what I have to say, but I think that that's the beauty about our PLN. When we build up these networks, we have room for all viewpoints, and that helps us come together for a clearer picture. So I decided to put on my big girl pants and hit publish, and surprisingly, I've been getting a positive response. And so it's just been a really cool experience, and I love the fact that there are so many educators that are looking at social media for a way to collaborate in the best interest of our kids, because that's what it all boils down to. What is in the best interest of our students? And it's in my students' best interest to have me hear ideas from people all over the world, really. That makes my teaching better. So I mean, that's what I think it should be about. So that's just my take.
What sort of pushback have you had, or has anyone challenged your viewpoint?
I haven't had anyone challenge my viewpoint, and now that I think about it, that is not surprising at all, because I think that the people who I'm trying to convince, they already have in their minds that they don't want to hear what I have to say anyway. So that's what it boils down to.
I hear you. I mean, there, like I said, there's some people. I get back from ISTE, and I just start blocking. As well as some who, and I don't know where it comes from. I really, where they don't want the dialogue. They don't want the collaboration. They want to, I'm right. This is my thing. And when you go, hey, I kind of disagree. They don't want. There's no exchange there, and so I found that to be sort of like, isn't that what we're here about? Because I don't mind people saying to me, hey, I think in this point of view, what have you thought about this, or I believe in this, or this is my practice, that sort of thing. So I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is different, because it's interesting, because I've been on Twitter for a long time, and now, as they say, the Twitter radio, the Twitter stars, things are starting to be taken to a point that I don't think any of us expected it to happen. And it's kind of, I'm like, I love Twitter. I'm not getting off it. I'm not going to be like, but it's kind of like, okay,
right.
where did this come from?
Exactly. I totally hear you on that. And once again, I just want to reiterate that people with, 50,000, 100,000 followers, some of these people are the coolest people you will ever meet. Like, I have, just like how you said before, nothing against anyone with their, being known, getting their ideas out there to a mass audience. I applaud you, and I have the highest respect for people who are able to do so and still, remain grounded and remain humble, because obviously this is our strength as people in the educational technology world. This is my strength. I'm deficient in other areas. So there'll be somebody in another pond that, when I go over there, then I'm gonna be a guppy, and I'm gonna need, I'm gonna want to be able to collaborate with the people who are the dolphins there, and hear what they have to say, but still be treated with the respect that I am a professional. We are all professionals, and we should have that respect for each other. And once again, I'm not saying that we need to follow every single person who follows us. That's not what I'm saying. But just the attitude of, okay, well, let me make a snapshot judgment of you, and decide that you're not important because you're just getting started. I think that whole philosophy is garbage. That's just me.
Yes. I agree. I will, like I said, I wasn't gonna call out those people's names, but I will shout out to people like Eric Schenniger and Angela Myers and Tom Whitby, the Cyber Man, you know what I'm saying? Had dinner with the man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He had a burger and a milkshake. He's real cool like that. These are people who have that status, and when you meet them, they're just, some really genuine people, and they do follow people, and they do really dialogue on people on Twitter. And I don't know their process for vetting folks, but I've never heard of them putting status above the content and character of the individual on the other side.
Exactly. I hear you on that. Definitely.
I don't know where this show going, but
I'm sorry.
So when you wrote the blog post, what kind of comments have you received on your blog about it, or tweets? Have people said, go ahead, sister, I like this, or have they given you examples that they've had of themselves?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people share their stories, because my last comment on the bottom of that blog post was, please just share in with your thoughts or your system if you have one, because I shared my system, even though I don't use it every single time, but pretty much is, if you're involved in education in any way, then I'd be happy to collaborate with you. But I had some people share their system, and everyone has a different system, and that's totally cool. It's up to the individual, so that's cool. But I have to say, like, regarding people, regarding the PLN, one reason why I do like to have such diverse viewpoints and like to keep it so big is because sometimes the PLN helps keep me in check, like sometimes these ideas that I have, they might be slightly off kilter every now and then. It happens to all of us. So, if I put something out there and somebody gives me a convincing reason why I'm wrong, or vice versa, I love that. Like, that's the opportunity to have a discussion that would set my course straight, as opposed to just being wrong for the rest of my life. So it's very important to have those the people who will agree with you, the people who will disagree with you. Of course, you don't want like a toxic situation at all, but you all can always respectfully agree to disagree on certain topics. So I'm just happy for all of it, and I'm thankful, and I'm blessed to just be around such phenomenal people that challenge my thinking, every day. It's just, I couldn't advocate it more, just getting as connected as possible.
Definitely. I follow a lot of people, and for me, my only formula for following back is, are you an educator, and do you post? Because I've had people sometimes, they'll hit follow me. I kind of check their tweet, and I'm like, you've only posted 4 times in the past 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So they may not get a follow back.
Mm.
or people who their feed is a bunch of random quotes.
Mm.
Um, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to saying, uh, me seeing them dialogue with people, or posting links to either their blog or some other stuff that they found. To me, if I see you making a positive contribution, then I follow you back. And it doesn't even have to be an educator, because I used to work in social media, and I don't know how it happens, but I'll get a lot of people who work in social media pop up and say they follow me. And as long as it's, again, they're making a positive contribution of real content, then I follow them back, and I try to say, hey, let's learn from each other, that sort of thing. Because Twitter has been just amazing, to me, learning, growing, because we met on Twitter first before we met at ISTE.
Right, right.
So it's just been a phenomenal, um, experience. Now, in looking at your formula, and you say this is how you follow your people, is there a determination you have for when it might be time to let that relationship go?
I haven't had a situation like that. Mostly, if I follow somebody, then you're in the Twitter family for life, But every now and then, I can imagine there could be situations where somebody might need to sever that relationship, and I would say if it gets to be toxic, if it gets to be a toxic relationship, then definitely it's time to let that go. But I mean, really, I think that somebody might be dry for a month or so, and then the next month, all of a sudden, they might have like some spark of wisdom that they just want to put out there on Twitter, and so I want to be there when that happens, because I want to see what they have to say, and that could change my life. So yeah.
See that spark of wisdom.
Yeah, like people have all kinds of ideas and all kinds of things on Twitter, and I'm just learning so much from all of these people, and I'm so happy. Like, I can't say it enough. I'm so happy to be connected with the awesome group that I am connected with, and I'm sure that there's a lot more out there that I'd love to connect with too. And I mean, Twitter and social media have really changed my professional life. They've changed my personal life. Like, there's power. There's power in the PLN. People always say that, power of the PLN, but it's so true. And we just need to embrace others to help them have that power as well. Get other people connected, and yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, people. I don't know if this show helped you out. I don't know if you find this interesting. I don't even know if you can even watch this thing. But I wanted to have a conversation, because people just really need to understand. Let's get out there, get on Twitter. Let's have a great time. Let's work with people. Let's collaborate. Let's learn from one another, exchange information, and whenever possible, let's take it off Twitter into Google Plus and ed camps and conferences, and try to collaborate on projects. Let's just make let's make this thing work, and no more drama.
No.
I appreciate everyone for checking out this episode. And again, Sarah's information is going to be there. We're going to post it up on his blog. You check it out, and leave comments on my blog. Let me know if I'm in the wrong. Okay, let me know on my blog. Tell me, tweet me, let me know. You say, hey, Will, you did wrong. All right, then we can dialogue about that. All righty, folks. Appreciate it. I'm out.